Before we begin the review, I did want to make it clear, at the time of recording this video, I had no idea that these were the actual robot feet, so throughout the review, I have her with the bird feet pointing forward. Just try to ignore me, being an idiot. Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back for another Transformers Rise of the Beasts action figure review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Maximal Airrazor. And yeah, let's just get right on into it by starting with the packaging. And here's now taking a look at her packaging. Right up front here, we got a nice image of the Hawk mode, which actually takes up a lot of the box. Got a nice image of it right there. It says number 97, Studio Series, Deluxe Class, Airrazor, Studio Series 97, Transformers Generations, and says Rise of the Beasts right there. Here on the side, got Airrazor. Authentic Transformers! And then here on the back of the box, we got some product shots right here of Airrazor, and yeah, that is basically it for the packaging. And as always, the cardboard backdrops do open up for a lot of great display options. And now here's taking a look at... Oh. Hello there, Jack. Okay. You're moving. You are moving. The only accessories here that Airrazor comes with is this pair of missile launcher gun things, and they're basically cast out of that bronzish brown plastic while being painted in this like semi-caramely gold. And of course, these little missile pod things are traditionally supposed to go here on her forearms, so she has some little missile launcher action going on. Which is, of course, very similar to the Transformers Kingdom Deluxe Class version of Airrazor. I'm going to be bringing up this figure a lot throughout the review. Now, give me a second. Before we continue, I need a bit of a water break. Here's taking a look at some of the up-close details on Airrazor. And yeah, she's so shiny and metallic, it almost looks kind of weird on camera. I hope it doesn't look too bad for you guys on the review, but she looks just so glossy and shiny. I don't know if that's interpreted through the actual movie itself, because she's mostly been in her bird mode most of the time, but yeah, looks pretty dang good. And just overall, it does extend down to the rest of the figure itself. Again, just like the face sculpt, the body and the face is actually pretty faithful to the original design for Airrazor from the cartoon, and I do appreciate that. I like how, they actually wanted to keep the design and basically just made it in this live-action form. I like how it looks. All my issues with this figure are very, very minimal, but the most impressive thing about it is the looks, like just the overall appearance of the figure and the way how it looks and the way it's designed. The figure definitely captures the character, even if you've not even seen the movie at all. I feel like this is still a really good Airrazor. She does have the bird feet, which I do think is a bit of a weird choice, but hey, at least I'm not into feet. All this paint, detail, and sculpting helps complement the posability as well, because it's not just that the figure looks good, it poses good, and it's able to look good while doing it. There is a ball joint at the head which allows her to look left and right, though it is a little bit limited to get her to look all the way around. She can't really look up or down all that much, which is a shame because she is in flying poses, so it would have been nice to get her to look up more, but whatever. And she has a ball joint at the shoulder, which again, all the joints here are nice and tight and smooth. Nothing feels too tight like it's going to break, and nothing feels too loose like it's just going to keep falling over. So the shoulders can rotate a full 360. They can move in and out. She does get a bicep swivel. 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. The wrists move up and down due to transformation. The wings here, if you untab them from the transformation and you extend them all the way, they are filled with all kinds of hinge joints that allow for all kinds of natural curved flapping poses. And as I showed before, these can hinge in and out. She does have a waist swivel, but because of the way how it transforms, the bird beak prevents this from moving. So if you want to utilize it all the way, you have to untab it and then utilize that really nice waist joint. I mean, Feels kind of useless because you have to unpeg the bird head, but it's whatever. Again, it's just a small nitpick, and my gosh, it's just gone. There it is. Yeah, I guess it's the perfect time to address this problem. One of the issues I had on this particular mold, it was the only thing keeping me from loving that original Kingdom figure, though this figure didn't really have the issue as bad. Because of the way how these wings are pinned on there, it does leave the opportunity for these to be pulled off. And it ended up being an issue on the Airrazor figure more, which is a heavy retool of this. But this figure, sadly, does have it sometimes, as you can see. But this is the first time that it's happened in a little while, actually. So, I mean, like, at least I'm not manhandling her like an ape. And then she does feature a hinge joint right here, which allows for the leg to kick back that far. It can hinge forward that far. She does have a lot of range in the hips right there. No thigh swivel, but she does have a knee swivel, which again, nice and tight joints. The knees bend in way farther than 90 degrees, very impressive. And then finally, the ankles have ball joints in them, as well as a hinge joint due to transformation. But the ball joint allows for some swiveling, and it does allow for a very, very slight ankle pivot. I'm a little disappointed by the lack of pivot, but it is whatever. And now for comparisons, here's the Studio Series Deluxe Class Airrazor with the Kingdom one. And again, just as I mentioned before, these are basically the exact same figure in terms of accessories, the amount of detail, and just the amount of posability. Even their engineering is basically just the exact same thing, just slightly upscaled and just, you know, covered in a different coat of paint and detail. And then here she is with the last furry that I took a look at. I mean Maximal that I took a look at. Cheetor. These two look great together. And here is Airrazor compared next to Freezer. She was compared to Freezer. And now let's get into Airrazor's simple and easy transformation. And here's now taking a look at Airrazor in her Death Turkey mode. And the head sculpt here on the bird looks pretty good, I'd say. I like the way how it came out. I do still feel like the face in the movie turned out a little bit different, and also the eyes are more of a yellow than a green. And of course, I do like that bronzish kind of, you know, caramely gold coloring that's here inside the figure as well. As you can see, there is weapon storage right there, which honestly, you don't even have to remove these for the transformation. All you have to do is just reverse them around so they're pointing toward her elbows, but oh my god. Overall, the bird mode does look pretty good. I like the spine detail, and again, the feathers and everything have all been painted very cleanly. One of the biggest things about this figure that I really like is the size of her. She is a very good size for a deluxe class, and overall, I think the figure does have an impressive wingspan. And of course, just like the robot mode, the looks are also complemented by a lot of great posability. The head here is on a nice little swivel, and it can look up and down. Wish there was a hinge joint in the mouth. Missed opportunity, considering that, you know, Airrazor is supposed to shoot flames out of her mouth. So kind of a missed opportunity to put a little blast effect peg in her mouth, but whatever. As shown before, the wings here have a very nice amount of hinge joints that allow for these very nice curvy wing poses. The tail can move up. And of course, these little bits can... And then the hips can rotate when you unlock them, and they can move in and out. Basically, you get all the posability from the robot mode in there, along with the feet. And honestly, I would have liked maybe some hinge joints so you could close her claws or something, but honestly, it's not that big an issue. Again, this figure is very nice, and I think is definitely one of the better deluxes to come out of the Rise of the Beasts wave. And for comparisons with the wings fully splayed out, here is the Kingdom Airrazor compared next to the, you know, the Studio Series one that we're reviewing today. And yeah, like I said, the Studio Series one's that little bit bigger, but I feel like the smaller one is just slightly more appealing, like the legs are slightly more concealed, but overall, I honestly like both of these figures pretty equally. The only thing is, it's a real shame there's no opening mouth. So just really fast, in the middle of recording this video, it only just occurred to me, while I was recording the video, if you look right here underneath Airrazor's chin. So now I'm wondering, does the movie one also have this? Don't worry, guys, I'm a professional. Here she is compared next to Cheetor. As I said, the wingspan really gives her a lot of mass, especially when compared to a Voyager. And then here she is with what remains of Freezer. And that is basically it for my review on the Rise of the Beasts Studio Series Airrazor. This figure, in terms of like the posability, the detail, the articulation, the transformation, everything I've gone over so far, is such a huge contrast to the previous Studio Series figures I just took a look at. Again, Beast Mode is very impressive. Love the way all the figure comes out. And again, the size and the wingspan and the posability, it's just... If I had to give this figure a rating, I give her a very solid 9 out of 10. She's just almost there, just teeny little nitpicks just kept me from liking her all the way. But if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to give me a like on the video, comment below what you guys think, subscribe to the channel for more action figure videos, and I'll catch you guys next time.